Jesse, can you just describe just how good the bullpen feels as a whole, what it's done here this postseason? Kind of give us an idea of just how proud the guys are of each other.
Oh, it's what we're doing down there and what those guys are doing night in and night out is incredible. It's something that we all talk about each and every day, pre and post. We don't try and linger on to the positive ones. We know there's a new day tomorrow. That's a good part about this group is we tend to keep each day in check. And that's the best part about us, which is why we're able to go out there and do our job every day.
Third row on your left, Zach.
Yeah, Jesse, we know baseball is all about routine and habit, and when you're used to coming out of the pen and then you're forced to start, how does that change? How's the night before sleeping-wise and just the mental preparation of everything?
Anymore, really, the more you do it, the more you just get used to it. Like the one in Dodger Stadium, I didn't know until I was going out for stretch. Then I found out. But I think that helps me out more now than it ever did before, where I just keep the same ritual, just whether I got to work out that day or not, it still stays the same. So that way I keep that mentality of whether it's the first inning, the fourth inning, or the ninth inning, whatever it is, I try and keep that same mentality each and every day. So that kind of helps me out.
Third row, Gabe.
Adam, same question to you that Bo asked Jesse. How impressed have you been with what the pitching has done, and how confident are you in these next couple days with these guys?
Yeah, I mean, playing behind it, it's always fun playing behind guys that work ahead of hitters, because you feel like they're always on the attack, and then you're not standing out there for very long. It's what they've been doing is just like you said is impressive to watch, impressive to play behind, impressive to be a part of, and it's been fun to do all those things for sure.
Back to Zach in the third row.
Duvall, how has the weather affected you both at the plate and in the field? And do you have to play further back defensively for that first skip of the ball?
Well, I mean, we've played enough rain games here to, kind of know, what little adjustments we need to make. As far as, yeah, I mean, I'll play different hitters in different spots, but it does. You got to be careful being super aggressive on maybe a line drive that's going to one hop to you because it is going to probably skip off. So you got to be careful with that. But so I would say for the most part, just being a little bit more careful on how aggressive you are to balls going in. That would probably be the main difference.
In the back right, John.
Thanks, Adam. As you were looking to play more center field here, of course, during the postseason and late in the season, what's your process been like just to get more comfortable with reads there, and who have been the coaches that have had the greatest effect on you and the impact on you in that position?
Well, I mean, I played some center field before I got here that helped out a lot, and then when I got here, I worked with EY, and we kind of figure out where we want to play each player, where we want to, depth-wise and as far as shift-wise. And then we'll go over all the different walls, and with Houston, there's a ton of different material as far as chain link fence, brick, that scoreboard out there. We'll go over all that stuff and figure out where we need to be as far as playing balls off the wall. So those are the biggest things.
In the back, Tyler.
Jesse, I know you haven't pitched with Dylan Lee for very long, but in your little experiences with him, what have been some of your impressions of him just in the bullpen, getting to know him?
He keeps it simple. He knows what his strengths are. He knows his weaknesses. It's pretty impressive to have that awareness this early. And being down in AAA with him early in the year, I was able to talk to him a little bit about some things because he saw potential there. You saw that he had a chance to come help out at some point where I didn't even know I was going to be here helping out. And so we had conversations like that where that kind of helped him out to prepare him for, hopefully it did for situations like this. But you could just tell right away he knows what he wants to do, and he runs with it.
And also, just what about your personal experience? It's been a long, long journey to the World Series for you. Did you take a moment the other night after you faced that one hitter to reflect on that, and just how is this living up to your expectations?
Oh yeah, it's everything. I don't think it'll hit me till after. Hope it does hit me after. Not right now, but it feels good. I mean, it's like you said, it's been a long journey. It took every year for a blessing, every ride that I had, every trade meant something to me. It all had a path for a reason, and I'm just blessed to be here.
A couple rows in front of Tyler. Mike.
Adam, how would you describe the whole experience of being here, leaving, going to Miami, then coming back and being in the World Series there?
Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I never in a million years thought I would be back this year and be playing in the World Series with the Braves. And it just goes to show you, you never know what the future holds. Like you said, I was in Miami, playing the season. Trade deadline came. I was sitting on the couch, 12:30, and on the trade deadline, and got the call. And next thing you know, I was back here. So, you just never know what the future holds.
And just this whole group of guys that came in together, I mean, what kind of bond is formed with all the outfielders that came in here?
Yeah, the group of guys that they brought in are unbelievable, unbelievable guys, unbelievable teammates. And then, walking back into the clubhouse, obviously I was familiar with everything, but the guys here did an unbelievable job of just bringing them in, trying to get them settled and as quickly as possible so that, they can be comfortable and make a difference. And, that shows what type of locker room that we came into. It's awesome to be a part of this team.
Barry, right up front here.
Thanks, Mike. For both of you guys, what do you think of the fact that there's no DH here? You had it down in Houston. The union sounds like it really wants to negotiate it into a universal DH next year, and this could be the last games with a pitcher hitting. What's your take on it?
You want me to answer that one first? I mean, it's kind of iffy for us as pitchers. We're used to it. It kind of adds a little bit of another aspect to the game where we have to pay attention to. Your body has to be ready to contribute to that as far as starting goes. My personal opinion, I think it should stay the same. I think it's beneficial for the game because it adds two different aspects, and it gets to see, it's a chess game out there. It's not checkers. We're out there trying to counteract each movement, each pitch we make, each one we miss. And then each hit we give up, we got to try and make another pitch to where we don't make the lineup come up later on in the game. So I think with that, and you have the pitcher, I kind of think it makes it more interesting for baseball.
Yeah, it's tough because I've gone back and forth on this. You get into a big situation, and from a offensive standpoint, you'd like to have a hitter there to be able to, have a greater chance of driving in runs. But then also there's the chess match aspect of being in the National League and pitching, knowing how to pitch around a lineup and figure out, okay, I want to go after this guy, maybe put this guy on, and so that's I can see both sides. Right now, I don't really have a stance on one way or the other. You could argue either one for me, but it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. And if they do take it away, it could be something that we do miss. You never know until it's gone. So, but yeah, I don't necessarily have a side.
Third row in the middle.
Hey, Jesse, you are used in a lot of a variety of ways within the bullpen. Is there any experience that you draw on to help build that confidence to know that I can come in, regardless of where I'm at, and get the job done?
Just watching the guys' situations that they're getting thrown into now, that they're coming in, the big spots, that helps me going out there in my situations, knowing that I could still be on the attack mode and not have to hinder away from certain things or certain guys in the box, what part of the game it is. So watching those guys go out there, each and every night the past few weeks, kind of helps me out mentally and repetitively down there in the bullpen when I'm getting ready.
Go to Emma. Oh, I'm sorry, Kelly.
Jesse, as the most veteran member of this bullpen, what does that role mean to you? And is there anything you've been saying to the younger guys these couple weeks?
They teach me just as much as I try and teach them, in all honesty. I just try and keep it as loose and as even keel as we can down there. We talk about different things, and if I see something that sticks out, I'll bring it up. If If they see something that sticks out, they'll bring it up to me, and then we'll just have a conversation from there, because there's no wrong conversation we can't have down there, because we're all pulling for each other. And we're all going to be in different situations at different times throughout our careers. So if we have different scenarios that we've been through, kind of helps us out for the next person that goes out there and takes the ball to keep us in the ball game.
On the right aisle, my apologies, Kelly.
Sorry. Guys, excuse me, from both perspectives, hitting and pitching. When it comes to these bullpen games, if you will, which we've seen quite a few of, it feels like this postseason, what do you enjoy? What makes it challenging? As far as, Jesse, for you guys in the bullpen, is it fun? I would assume, Adam, it might not be as much fun to face a different pitcher every 2 innings or so.
It's antsy for us down there. You don't know who's going to be next, because you know you're going to throw today. So you're just down there, anticipating, waiting, staying ready, but still staying loose. When that phone rings, you can't get that adrenaline going too much, because it's going to ring again. And it might not be you that second time or the third time. So we're just trying to keep it even down there and understand that phone call could be you, but at the same time it can't be. But just keep that momentum and keep that even-keeled adrenaline going, so that way when it is time, it's go time.
Back right again, John.
Adam, I wonder if you could speak to your experiences with the Giants back in 2014. Of course, your first year, they're going to the World Series. What was that year like for you? How did you experience that October of 2014?
Well, it started off, I got called up that year in my first day in the big leagues. Tim Lincecum threw a no-hitter. So it started off pretty cool, and then it ended pretty good. The first year ended pretty cool, too. I was on the roster in the wild card game, and then was on the taxi squad the rest of the way. But just being there and kind of getting to see everything for the first time as far as the World Series goes, and seeing the guys prepare for that, and then all the stuff that goes along with being in the World Series too. So. That was obviously an unbelievable experience for a guy that'd been in the big leagues for 2 months, and I remember it really like it was yesterday. Just the adrenaline and just hanging on to every single out like it was the last one. So that's the biggest thing that I remember about it.
A couple more. We'll go back to Tyler.
Jesse, in your experience pitching, I mean, I know you started and done a lot of different roles. What do you think of the bullpen game as a strategy? I know here it's sort of by necessity because of injuries, but a lot of teams use it and do well with it. What do you think of it?
It depends on what it's used for, what its purpose is for the organization. If it's to get another guy an extra day of rest, or to bridge the gap for a day or two, it makes sense. If you're trying to get somebody acclimated to the big leagues by having an opener and then having the guy come in later on, I don't think it makes any sense as far as development goes. But if it's for the right reasons, it makes sense. But as far as for development goes, for the next guy to be bridged to becoming a starter later on in his career, I don't think it does anything for him, because it takes him out of his daily routine that he's been doing to get his way up here to that point.
One more for these guys. All right, Jesse, Adam, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.